What would you think of a college basketball coach that took 16 years to win his first NCAA championship? What would you think of a guy that was the only person of 24 job applicants for a KFC job to get rejected? What would you think of a person that attempted to do something over 10,000 times, resulting in failure? My name is Mark Anderson, and I'm a husband, a father, an entrepreneur, an endurance athlete, and much, much more. Be sure to watch until the end, where I do a deep dive analysis into my longest run of the week. Today, I want to talk about failure. John Wooden, the late UCLA Bruins basketball coach, was the coach that took 16 years to win his first NCAA championship. He went on to win 9 more championships in the next 11 years. The only KFC applicant to be rejected out of 24 applicants was Jack Ma, founder of Alibaba. Obviously, that last person was Thomas Edison, inventor of the incandescent light bulb, among many other fantastic inventions. The biggest reason people fail is giving up too soon. I love the story in Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, where a couple of guys are prospecting for gold only to quit after being 3 feet from their jackpot. One of my favorite quotes in the book is, "No one is ever defeated until defeat has been accepted as reality." Clearly, John Wooden, Jack Ma, and Thomas Edison did not give up too soon. I've failed more times than I care to admit, in business, in athletics, in marriage, fatherhood, and much, much more. If there's one thing I've learned about failure, it is not the opposite of success. It is a natural part of the process leading to success. Also, success and failure are not binary. They should be viewed on a spectrum. When I sign up for an ultramarathon race, my standard goal is to win first place in my age group. You'd be surprised how competitive the 50 to 59-year-old age group is. Lots of talented runners. The spectrum of possibilities is that I could do as well as win first place overall, or as badly as DNF did not finish, or even worse, DNS did not start. I won my age group once, but I usually finish in the top 5. My point is, if I finished in 3rd place, should I consider that a failure? That's what I did in the Rocky Raccoon 100 miler back in February, but I consider that 3rd place finish a huge success. Does that mean I'm satisfied with the result? No way. I want to keep improving and getting even faster. By the way, next week we'll talk about growth. I believe it's the same thing with business. I may have a goal of gaining a certain number of clients with so many dollars added in revenue. If I fall short of my goal, should I consider that a failure? Norman Vincent Peale said, "Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars." So I landed among the stars, and I had the great honor of helping some new small business owners with their accounting. If we are going to take the time to define what success is, we should also define what failure is. That way we have a better understanding of what our acceptable range of possible outcomes is. I like the way Verne Harnish describes it in his book, Scaling Up. He suggests that businesses use a color-coded system with varied results in mind. Super green is better than goal, green is equal to your goal, yellow is below goal, and red is failure. Looking at my upcoming race at Hidden Hills on May 21st, my goal is to win first place in my age group. That represents the top end of my spectrum. The failure side is a little bit tougher to define. DNF or DNS will be considered total failure. Otherwise, I would be happy to finish in the top 10% of runners in my age group. So there it is, success and failure defined. Now let's pivot to my longest run of the week. I'm 3 weeks out from race day. This week was the highest run volume of training, having logged over 57 run miles, just under 8 miles of dragging the tire, and just over 1 hour of strength training. Overall, it was a very good week. This week, I'll do a deep dive into my longest run of the week, Saturday's 20 miler. I own Know Your Numbers Accounting, as many of you know. As the name implies, I'm a numbers guy, not just in business, but in athletics and other areas of my life too. I encourage my clients to know their numbers, and I live by the same mantra. As for my Saturday run, I ran a little over 20 miles in 3 hours and 27 minutes, which is a pace of 10 minutes and 10 seconds per mile. That is a pace I'd be very pleased with on race day. Another number I look at closely is my average heart rate, which was 147 beats per minute. For a run with temps ranging from 73 to 86 degrees, I was very happy. Lastly, I look at my fitness, which is at 80 at the end of this week. Fatigue is at 120, and form, which is a function of fitness and fatigue, is at minus 34. I look at other numbers too, but these are a few of the most important numbers. Jesse Zavala, my strength and endurance coach, calls this peak week, meaning that it is the highest volume of running and training before the race. Peak week is followed by the taper, which is the strategic reduction in run and exercise volume to allow the body to rest prior to a competition. The trick with tapering is to keep the fitness number as high as possible, but get enough rest so that the fatigue number goes down and the form gets closer to zero. Before I wrap things up today, I wanted to briefly discuss my nutrition for the race. The long weekend runs are in a sense a simulation for race day. It may seem odd to say this, but Jesse and Lisa Ferrara, my nutrition coach, have me practice my hydration and nutrition on these long runs. What does that mean? I simply practice eating and drinking. I'm just running when I do it. When running for a period of potentially 9 to 12 hours, eating and drinking are a must. This strategy is critical because Hidden Hills will be like no other course that I've run before. So that's a wrap for this week. We covered failure and how it is an integral part of success, and we did a deep dive into my longest run of the week. One of the reasons I love ultra marathons is strategy. You can't just go out and run 50 or 100 miles without having a detailed plan. Join me next week when I discuss the hydration and nutrition plan for Hidden Hills.